Did a miracle save Kiev's Cathedral? A devastating night of war in Ukraine has left one of the country's most sacred places of worship damaged by fire, and yet it stands tall. But the latest flashpoint comes from Moscow, in fact. A Ukrainian drone attack damaged a facility at the Moscow oil refinery owned by Russia's Gazprom Neft. The damaged plant is the biggest in the Moscow region. It processes 11.6 million tons of oil, producing 2.9 million tons of petrol, 3.2 million tons of diesel in 2024. And reports also indicating that the number of drone strikes on Russian refineries has doubled since the start of 2026. President Zelensky has said it was a just response to Russian strikes. In a post on X, the Ukrainian leader said, I'm quoting, "This time, the Moscow region felt the reach of Ukraine's long-range capabilities. An oil refinery was hit at a distance of 500 kilometers. I thank the warriors of the security service of Ukraine. Russia must be forced to end its war against our people. This is a just response to Russian strikes and to the dragging out of a war that must be ended," quote unquote. In fact, huge queues of motor vehicles were witnessed outside gas stations in the Donetsk region. As it grapples with gasoline shortages, drivers were seen waiting for up to 3 hours, reportedly, at a handful of the operating gas stations. These fresh attacks coming just a day after the historic Cathedral in Kiev, a UNESCO World Heritage site dating back to 1051, was engulfed in flames after Russian strikes hit the Ukrainian capital. But amid the chaos, the locals described an almost unbelievable moment there. Several of them reportedly say as if the heavens themselves seemed to slow down the spread of the fire and prevent the complete destruction of that holy site. About 20 fire engines were rushed in to battle the blaze as Ukraine faced one of its most intense barrages in weeks. According to Ukrainian officials, Russia launched a massive assault of 70 missiles, 611 drones across the country. 11 people dead, reportedly. President Zelensky visited the site before leaving for the G7 summit and called the attack one of Russia's most serious crimes against Christian culture to date, quote unquote. The attack has drawn international condemnation, the United Nations expressing concern over damage to a World Heritage site. Meanwhile, room for diplomacy over the Russia-Ukraine war still prevailing. World leaders gathered at the G7 summit in France, remember. The war in Ukraine dominating discussions. President Zelensky met his French counterpart to push for stronger air defenses and renewed diplomatic efforts to end the war. Trump, on the other hand, said Russia should make a deal with Ukraine. This comes after he met Zelensky on the sidelines of the summit. Both the leaders are slated to meet once again later during the summit.
We have one, but we had a good meeting. I'm meeting him later on today. We had a very good meeting. Look, Russia should make a deal. Russia's lost tremendous amounts of people, and so has Ukraine. Last month, they lost 35,000 soldiers between the two of them. Think of that. This is on a monthly basis. They average 25,000 people.
Meanwhile, the Kremlin saying Putin has not received an invitation from Zelensky to meet at the G7 summit. The Kremlin further calling on Zelensky to meet for this meeting. Listen to this.
Of course there wasn't. Besides, as you know, there aren't even any official channels between Moscow and Kyiv. There haven't been any. Furthermore, Putin has essentially said and proposed everything to Zelensky. It has been stated and repeated several times that if Zelensky is ready to talk responsibly and seriously, and the Kiev regime knows well about what, he can always come to Moscow, where he will be received.
From sacred cathedrals in Kiev to strategic energy infrastructure in Moscow, the conflict continuing to expand on the ground and the diplomatic efforts continue. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.